Hello everyone, Counterspell Hater here, back with another EDH guide. Before we get into the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you to the 74 of you who are currently subscribed, and especially to my most recent subscriber, which I do not know who that is, but thank you to you, whoever has subscribed recently. And you can be one of those people. Just all you have to do is click the button that says subscribe or tap it, uh, depending on what device you're using. It's simple. Um, just as simple as hitting the like button for this video and all my other videos. Um, and if you're commenting, please make an EDH request. Uh, just make sure the commander hasn't already been featured on this channel yet. And if you want a specific style of it, like a Voltron commander, or like Joe, like I don't know, Rambo's Voltron. Just let me know. That's all you have to do. Um uh Sorry, I'm just drawing blanks here. But uh comment anyways. I like the feedback from you guys. It really shows your support. And don't forget to share this video. I've been forgetting to say that a lot. And I highly encourage it. That way, more people can know about Magic and or find my channel if need be, which EDH is enjoyable, and I believe a lot of people who are new to it would like some guides. So help people out by spreading the channel around. All you have to do is share this via Discord or whatever. It's really your choice. But share this video along with my other videos with other people. And make sure to hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss another one of my videos. Now, with that said, let's get into another unfair commander. Sheoldred the Apocalypse. Yes, the new one. So this is a mono black card draw matters EDH deck, and it's brutal. It's almost as brutal as Nekusar decks, except this is easier to run because it's only one singular color. Not to mention, this thing has Death Touch and it's a 4/5. Nekusar isn't that tough, and this is easier to cast. Still the same rarity, but also your opponents have half the amount of time they normally would have if you were to be playing Nekusar, and maybe even less than that, depending on the cards you play for this deck. So better than Nekusar by quite a mile. Put this in a Nekusar deck, and your opponent's life total is going to be gone before you know it. But we are focused around building a deck around Sheoldred the Apocalypse, or in my case, making recommendations to you, because that's what a guide is. It's just, to get you pointed in the right direction. You don't have to follow this exact guide. You can use some of the cards, none of the cards, all of the cards, just to give you a general idea of what you probably should do. But I will say, of all the decks I've done, most of the cards in here, everyone would probably use once you think about it. Like Alhamar's Archive, that's an absolute no-brainer. You're gaining twice as much life as what you would, and you're doubling up on card draw, except for the first one you draw each turn, but still, double card draw and life gain, that's a no-brainer. Epicure of Blood, there is something much better than this, but still pinging your opponents while you're gaining life because you're drawing cards, it's not bad. Bolas's Citadel, definitely would recommend this. Because you are gaining life, thanks to drawing cards because of the new Sheoldred. If you're playing Bolas's Citadel, that can lead to some shenanigans. Because what you could do is you could play something that draws you a bunch of cards with Bolas's Citadel by paying life for it. However, Sheoldred is just going to negate that life loss and maybe even give you more life than what you did lose. eventually what that's going to add up to is you being able to use Bolas's Citadel enough to just outright kill all of your opponents at the table. You just will tap this and then sacrifice 10 online permanents. There, each opponent has lost 10 life. Well of Lost Dreams. As long as you have mana, you can draw as many cards as you want with this in a turn and gain like all that much more life. Defiant Bloodlord. This is much better than Epicure of Blood. Definitely recommend this because whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. And if we're able to draw a lot of cards, that could potentially kill someone. Exquisite Blood. So this is just gonna feed more into our combo. And yes, I do have the mono black combo of Exquisite Blood and Sanguine Blood. So don't worry about that. But whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. No brainer. We're gaining life either way. If we're drawing cards, we're gaining life. Our opponents are drawing cards. Better yet, they're losing life and we're gaining life still. So pretty good card. Blood Bond Vampire. This will get really big as we draw more and more cards. Because we're gaining more and more life. Vito Thorn of the Dusk Rose. This is also an infinite combo card because whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. And with Exquisite Blood, that goes infinite. Because let's say you gain 1 life. Well, target opponent will then lose 1 life. You then Exquisite Blood goes off. And because an opponent lost 1 life, you're going to gain 1 life. Vito goes off again, and now it's an infinite cycle, and someone's dead. Same thing with Sanguine Bond. Sanguine Bond or Blood. You get the point. Still an infinite combo. This is essentially Vito, but without the activated ability, and it's an enchantment instead of a creature. But you pair Sanguine Bond with Exquisite Blood. Same thing happens. Like I just explained. You gain 1 life. Target opponent loses 1 life. Exquisite Blood triggers, which then in turn gains you 1 life, which then causes Sanguine Bond, and then like I said, you got the infinite loop, and someone is dead out of nowhere. Bloodthirsty Aerialist is a dangerous card in this deck due to flying and getting bigger and bigger as we put more plus counters on it. In fact, it's better than Blood Bond Vampire because it's cheaper, but still, Blood Bond Vampire isn't bad. But Bloodthirsty Aerialist, definitely recommend. Vainwitch Coven can just get you stuff back from your graveyard as long as you have Sheoldred out and you've drawn a card at least, because that will gain you life, and then you'll be able to pay a singular black to return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Which of the Moors is brutal, because as we are cycling, so we're going through the turn cycle, our opponents are going to have to sacrifice creatures, because at the beginning of our end step, if we gain life this turn, which most likely we will have, then each opponent has to sacrifice their creature, and we return up to 1 creature card from our graveyard to our hand. So this can get us stuff back that's important to us, just like Vainwitch Coven, but it also forces our opponent to sacrifice stuff. So this can be a problem for our opponents and a benefactor for us. Omnixilus of the Black Oath. If we've got like big beefy creatures that are just not doing us any good, with the emblem we get from his ultimate, we can just pay 2 mana, sacrifice that creature, and we gain X life and draw X cards where X is sacrifice the creature's power. So say we sacrifice like a 9/9, we are not gaining 9 life, and we are drawing 9 cards, but because we're drawing cards and we have Sheoldred out, that's gonna go from gaining 9 life to 27. That's insane. Not to mention, Obnixus here makes 5/5s at the cost of 2 life and can slowly drain our opponents. Pretty good Planeswalker, and it's only 5 to cast. Aetherflux Reservoir can just outright kill someone, period. And as you cast more spells within your turn, you gain more and more life. And if no one stops us from drawing cards and gaining life with Sheoldred, soon, out of nowhere, we could just pay 50 life and suddenly someone finds themselves dead. Price of Knowledge. Will punish those red-blue players for having to draw a lot of cards, or just people drawing cards in general. Well, more specifically, our opponents, not us. And this allows all players to have no maximum hand size. So as their hands fill up, they're getting dealt more and more damage by Price of Knowledge, and we're just able to keep everything in our hand without having to worry about discard until, of course, Price of Knowledge is inevitably destroyed. Because like a card like this in a deck like this just cannot remain on the board for too long. Otherwise, we're just going to run away. And our opponents don't want that, and they're going to try and stop us. Fairly obvious. Greed in this deck, if we have Sheoldred out, Greed is now just pay a black and draw a card. I mean, technically, it's still pay a black and pay 2 life, draw a card. But if you have Sheoldred out, the life loss is negated and canceled out entirely. Your life total doesn't go anywhere, but you still gain life. So that will account for like life gain triggers, like Veto, sorry, Exquisite Blood, or Sanguine Bond, excuse me, Sanguine Bond or Veto, or like Bloodthirsty Aerialist, or Bloodborne Vampire. But if you still don't have Sheoldred out, sure, you're paying 2 life, but still drawing cards for like 1 mana is nice. But if you have Sheoldred out, this is literally just pay a black and you just draw a card for free. Crypt Ghast just gives it's in here for more mana. Magus of the Coffers, same thing. Can't have that running in the background. Nurkana Revenant help us ramp even more because we're mono black. So why not have these cards in our deck? Because they're going to benefit us highly because we're only playing swamps in this deck. Soren Markov. CF, high recommendation. High recommendation. Because of the -3 ability, being able to literally put someone's life at 10, putting them like, and if you have Sheoldred out, that's what that translates to is they're like 5 turns or less from death, which is insane that you're able to do this with this commander. And if you end up ultimating Cosmos Elixir, great card, not because it's like busted or anything, but it's like a nice synergy. Because at the beginning of our end step, if we draw a card, if our life total is greater than our starting life total, otherwise we gain 2 life. And most likely, it's our life total is going to be greater than our starting life total because of Sheoldred. So this is going to gain us life and keep us ahead of our starting life total thanks to Sheoldred. So this is free card draw and life gain, essentially. And this can help us stay around in the game. Helm of the Host. This is a deadly card if paired with Sheoldred, because if you end up making tokens that are copies, first of all, they're non-legendary, but they still keep all the effects, and they have haste of the tokens. So suddenly, what may end up happening is you start gaining like 8 or so life whenever you draw a singular card, and whenever your opponent draws a card, they lose like 8 or so life. What this means is that with Helm of the Host, if you attach it to Sheoldred, your opponent is going to die very fast. Excuse me, your opponents. Peer into the Abyss is just a kill combo. You might be seeing this in Nekustar decks. If not, I'll explain. It's actually pretty simple. Target player draws cards equal to half the number of cards in their library and loses half their life, round up each time. If your opponent has somehow gone without losing life, you play Sheoldred, or well, if your opponent has a lot of life, you play Sheoldred, and if they have a good amount of cards in their deck, guess what's going to happen? They're going to draw all those cards and lose God knows how much life. If they somehow have enough life to not die in an instant, sure, they'll be alive, but not by much, probably. And this is coming out turn 7, which is still decently early into the game, or earlier, depending on what you have. If you have something like Narcana Revenant somehow, or like Magus of the Coffers, or Cryptghast, which can help you get this thing out even earlier and pull off this combo. The earlier in the game you're able to pull this combo off, the more likely you are to just outright kill someone. Or you target yourself with this, in which case you gain more life than what you lose. You have drawn half your deck, and suddenly you have a lot more resources. Also round up each time. So say you have 60 cards left, and you have 10 life, and you're in a pinch. You play Peer into the Abyss, target yourself. You're down to 5, sure, someone could kill you out of nowhere. But if they don't, you draw those 30 cards, and suddenly you're up to 65. Insane. Toxic Deluge is in here because with all this life we have, how can we use it? Well, we can use it to pay the additional cost for Toxic Deluge, and just kill everything, even the biggest of creatures. Howling Mine is in here for extra card draw, as is Horn of Greed. Yawgmoth's Bargain is it's a great card in this deck. Would definitely recommend, because even though you skip your draw step, you can just pay 1 life and draw a card. However, with Sheoldred, that suddenly turns into pay 1 life, draw a card, gain 2 life. So as long as you have cards in your deck, this is an infinite life combo. Again, and infinite card draw. Well, limited card draw most likely, because you're not able to put you don't have a way to put cards back into your deck. You wouldn't really need it for this deck. But if you're in a pinch, this can get you out of it. If you're trying to find an answer for something. So definitely would recommend Yawgmoth's Bargain. Mind's Eye. If an opponent is drawing cards, we can pay 1 generic to draw a card as well. So say someone's playing a Locust God deck, or someone has a consecrated Sphinx out, well, we're going to get some benefits off of them because of Mind's Eye here. So I definitely would recommend the Immortal Sun. Big recommendation. Planeswalker players can activate Planeswalker's loyalty abilities. Sure, that shuts down our Sorin, but think about what else that possibly shuts down. Nicol Bolas, Ugin, other dangerous Planeswalkers like one of the newer Nissas. Nissa Shakes the World. Jace, Garrick. Something like this could stop something really bad from happening. Liliana is another big problem if she ultimates, most likely, because of what she normally does. But also, at the beginning of our draw step, we draw an additional card. Sure, with Yawgmoth's Bargain, if we have it out, that our draw step is skipped. But still, at the beginning of our draw step, draw an additional card, so that's more life. Spells we cast cost 1 generic less to cast, so we're able to do more within a turn than what we normally would be able to. And our creatures get buffed up. Highly recommend this. And in probably like most decks, yeah, you play. Because like it cheapens your spells, it stops people from activating Planeswalkers' loyalty abilities, draws you extra cards on your draw step, and buffs up your board. Lots of benefits there, even if this doesn't really go along with like the deck you may be playing with. Font of Mythos, however, goes along perfectly with this deck because of what it does. Because at the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws 2 additional cards. For us, that means 6 life or more on our draw step. We gain 6 life or more on our draw step. And 6 or more life lost from our opponents on their draw step. Psychosis Crawler. Now, as we're drawing cards, our opponents are losing life. And this thing's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in our hand. Dread Presence can draw us cards, and it's great in this deck. Would highly recommend because this is a mild black deck, so we're only playing swamps. And the land that triggers Dread Presence is swamps. Which allows us to either draw cards at the cost of life or no life at all if we have Sheoldred once again, or just outright deal damage, 2 damage to any target and just gain 2 life regularly. Sure, we kind of gain more life that way, and we're able to get rid of like a few things that are annoying, but still, drawing a card and losing 1 life only to gain 2 because of Sheoldred is pretty cool, because we're playing Swamp. Awesome. Excuse my grammatical error. Temple Bell. Each player draws a card. All I have to do is tap it to cause that to happen. This means you just get to draw a card, gain 2 life, and everyone else has to draw a card and lose 2 life. Evolved Sleeper isn't a bad card for this. It's a 1-drop. And if you get it to its 3rd and final stage, you can start putting plus and plus counters on it, drawing yourself cards, sure at the cost of life, but like I said, with Sheoldred out, the new one to be clear, Sheoldred the Apocalypse, with that one out, the life loss is negated, and you even end up gaining more life than what you lost. Dregs of Sorrow can just kill a bunch of stuff and draw us a bunch of cards if we have like the mana to do it. And even if our opponent like points uses a deflecting SWAT, which I don't think they would be able to use it on this card, or if they use or if our opponent played a card that changed the targets of this thing, they wouldn't be able to hurt us because we're only playing mono black creatures for the most part. This is a nice card. And it draws X cards. Guide for Ori allows us to play additional lands. And in fact, it allows each player to play additional lands, which plays well with Horn of Greed. Because then they're drawing cards and losing life, and we're drawing cards and gaining life with Sheoldred. And at the beginning of each player's upkeep, if that player has no cards in hand, they draw 3 cards. So it keeps everyone's hands from being empty, which means it makes sure that everyone is losing life. Or, well, not everyone except the one playing Sheoldred, which would be us in this case. It makes sure we're gaining life as well, and we have cards in our hand. Teferi's Puzzle Box is a great card. This can get you out of a pinch fast if you have Sheoldred out. What you do is you play this, and then you just let it do its work. Not to mention, this can end up killing someone pretty fast with Sheoldred the Apocalypse. Say like they have 7 cards in their hand, they go to draw, they've lost 2 life. Now they have 8 cards in their hand. Teferi's puzzle box forces them to shuffle all 8 of those cards into the library. Then they draw a new 8 because of Teferi's puzzle box, which then in turn causes that that opponent to lose 16 more life. So with Teferi's puzzle box and Sheoldred alone, you can make someone lose a lot of life before they've even began their turn. So you can get someone down to 10 before they've even gone to their main phase. Or you can get yourself out of a pinch. You play this, you have some, say you have 7 cards in your hand. You draw your card for your turn, or however many you're supposed to on your draw step, depending on what you have out. So you just draw 1. You've already gained 2 life. Now you shuffle all 8 of those cards in your hand into your library, and then you draw a brand new 8. Suddenly you've gained 16 more life. Along with the 2 you already have gained with Sheoldred. And you're already at 18 more life than what you were. Sorry, my mind is. Azor's Gateway. This is a brutal card to have in this deck, simply because of the Sanctum of the Sun side, being able to tap and add X mana of any one color to your mana pool, where X is your life total. That's going to be pretty busted in this deck. High recommendation. Not to mention Azor's Gateway draws us cards, and as it transforms, it gains us 5 life, and we untap it. So the minute it transforms, we're able to use Sanctum of the Sun, the other side, and just tap for 30, 40, 50, 60, God knows how much mana. And it's only going to be more mana as we draw more cards. So that could just end the game on the spot, out of nowhere. Forgar, Famine Incarnate. This is a dangerous card. Definitely recommend. Because you can make this card cheaper to cast by sacrificing creatures. You only have to sacrifice 3, and then it's only double black for a 7/6, which when this card enters the battlefield, it halves someone's life total. Well, it causes their life total to become half their strong life total, which is interesting because in a pinch, like say we're at 1, we play Torgar, we target ourselves in a game of EDH. Suddenly we're at 20, or if like someone's at a ridiculously high life, we play Torgar. Suddenly that person's down to 20 life, and that's also terrifying because with Sheoldred, suddenly their time has been shortened. Archfiend of Despair. Our opponents can't gain life. This secures the win for the most part. And at the beginning of each send step, each opponent loses life equal to the life that player lost this turn. So the more cards they draw, the more life they're going to lose than what they would have before because of Sheoldred. Phyrexian Reclamation. Because we're gaining life, we can use that life to start returning creature cards from our graveyard to our hand. So getting back in pieces. Villas, Broker of Blood. Excuse me. Villas, Broker of Blood. We can just pay a singular black, pay 2 life, and target creature gets -1/-1 until end turn. But that's not the big thing. The big thing is whenever we lose life, we draw that many cards. So we just pay a singular black, pay 2 life. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end turn. But because we've lost 2 life, we draw 2 cards. Sheoldred, the Apocalypse, sees this and causes us to gain 2 life for each of those cards. In this case, 4 life in total. So even if we're losing life, it doesn't matter, because then Sheoldred just gains us that life right back. So if someone decides to attack us for 9 and we just take it, we've lost 9, but then we draw 9 cards and gain 18. So really, at the end of the turn, we've ended up gaining 9 life because of damage done to us. Correct. Son of Yawgmoth, great recommendation because we're mono black. And whenever we cast a black spell, we put a +++ count on Kurik, Son of Yawgmoth. But also we can use our life total as a resource to cast our mono black spells. Because for each black mana symbol in a mana cost, we can instead pay 2 life rather than pay that mana. So we're able to do more in our turn and draw more cards. Not to mention, Kurik here has lifelink, so he can get us back into the game if we were to need it, if Sheoldred wasn't already there doing a lot of work. Quietus Spike, just to have someone's life total. Raving Dead, do the same thing. Wound Reflection. At the beginning of each end step, each opponent loses life equals to the life they lost this turn. I don't think I need to say any more. Bristlebrand is just pay 7 life, draw 7 cards normally. But with Sheoldred out, it's suddenly pay 7 life, draw 7 cards, gain 14 life. Not to mention flying lifelink 7/7. Massive Bristlebrand. The creature dies, we can pay life and draw cards equal to its power. And then we gain twice that much life because of Sheoldred. Then we have Fraying Omnipotence. Fraying Omnipotence, depending on how high a life total we have, won't really hurt us all that bad. It's going to hurt our opponents more than anything. And it will put them even closer to death than what they were. So Sheoldred can kill them even faster. And they have less resources to stop us once Fraying Omnipotence is done and over with. So definitely recommend there. Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, and Cabal Coffers. You saw this coming. This is a mono black deck, so why not? And Cabal Stronghold, same thing. These can make us a lot of mana. And then the rest out of our 50 lands, so like our other 47 lands are basic swamps. And with that said, that is Sheoldred, the Apocalypse. If you enjoyed this EDH guide, please like and subscribe. Keep the subscriber count going up. Thank you to the 74 of you who are currently subscribed. Share this video along with other videos found on my channel. Go watch them first. But share them anyways. Spread this channel out. Hit the notification bell, that way you don't miss another one of my videos. Comment on this one. And if you're first come, first serve, you can make an EDH request. Just like everyone else can. Like I said, first come, first serve, as in you get what I'm saying. I don't know. First come, first serve for EDH requests. That's how I'll sum it up as. Just make sure the EDH request you want to make hasn't already been featured on this channel, or like the commander you want to see hasn't already been featured on this channel. But if you don't want to make a request, comment anyways. I like feedback from you guys, and shows me you care. And with that said, I'll stop drawing blanks, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.